This piece is called, Why, When I Was Your Age. Gather round, boys and girls, and let the old man pour some wisdom syrup on your birthday cake. I'm 54 years old, and I'm no longer in the business of offering advice or telling people younger than me how my life was compared to theirs. You're not going to hear me saying things like, why, when I was your age, we didn't have no MP3 players or high-definition attention deficit order televisions. And we didn't have any fancy computers or i-thingy-mabobs, or we didn't have no remote control whatchamacallits. We were poor and glad of it. Why, when I was your age, Sonny, my brothers and I slept 3 to a bed. Hell, boy, I slept sideways in a bed until I was dang near 13. No, you won't catch me doing that anymore. I'm not in the complaint department anymore. Not me. I do recall on a Monday when I was about 7 asking my father if he could give me a nickel to buy a candy bar. Back then, the nickel was a going rate for a Chunky or a Hershey or a Mounds. Of course, my parents made $8,000 combined in 1962. And on Monday, I'd say, hey, Dad, you got 5 cents for a candy bar? Why, for 5 cents, I could have had a candy bar twice as big as a Chunky, he'd say. So he didn't give me the nickel. So every day I'd ask him. And by Wednesday, the candy bar he used to get would be the size of a shoebox, and it would only cost 3 cents. By Friday, the candy bar was so big, he had to take it home in a wheelbarrow, and the storekeeper gave him a penny to take it home. Now, you won't catch me talking about how I owned an antique Betamax VCR that cost me 400 smackers in early 1980s when I was making $6.75 an hour, or that I owned a 1982 Toyota Tercel that cost me $5,800 out the door. Nope, not me. I'm not going to be that guy. Perhaps you like those kind of stories, but you won't catch me telling you about using an IBM Selectric typewriter with pieces of whiteout to correct every goddamn mistake. Backspace delete? We don't need no stinking backspace delete. You won't hear me complaining about driving a 1968 Plymouth Satellite to college with bald tires and only one headlight, and having to roll my windows down by hand. Not me. No, I'm not one of those lazy bastards who needs a newfangled electronic door to open up his window. Besides, what you gonna do, Sonny, when your car goes off the Coronado Bay Bridge and the electronics go out and you're drowning? You wish you were driving a 1968 Satellite then. And another thing, why do people need one of these cars that have a seat that has a memory? You can't remember what your seat position was? And even if you can't remember, you can't figure it out? I'm not that guy. I won't be him anymore. I won't tell you about what it was like back when all a man could do was own a 286 or a 386 or a 486 or a Pentium 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. You see where I'm going, son, don't you? And I can remember thinking how hard it was when I was a kid and we had to grow our weed from seeds. And we had to grow it in soil, in dirt. We didn't have clones and all those metal halide lights, high-pressure sodium lights, and nitrogen plant food. Soil testers that let us know how our orange kush is doing and whether or not our sativa is feeling poorly because of their pH values. You know, that's like plants with low blood sugar. Not me, boy. I don't like talking about how rough it was listening to the Bee Gees and Cats in the Cradle on an old 8-track tape. Or what it was like having to put an album on a turntable by hand. Back-breaking work it was. Just so we could listen to Jimi Hendrix trick his guitar into becoming a blessed lamp. I just won't do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Pete. It wouldn't be a story by Pete unless there was a marijuana reference in there somewhere, so thank you for following through. Next to the stage.